Ah, the 80s, where everybody had a mascot, whether it was video games, cigarettes, even food. Look at some of these food mascots from the 80s. You had the California Raisins, Yo Noid, Ronald McDonald, the 7-Up Spot, and of course, the unforgettable Kool-Aid Man. It almost feels like Kool-Aid was the official drink of kids in the 80s. With their catchy commercials featuring kids outside having fun, living up life, looking for something cool and refreshing to drink. And what better way to bring the Kool-Aid Man into each commercial than by crashing through the wall, shouting his catchphrase, "Oh yeah!" Kool-Aid Man was about as popular as it gets for food or drink mascots, as he was very marketable towards children. He was on all sorts of merchandise, and yeah, you guessed it, including video games. And the one we're going to be talking about here is Kool-Aid Man for the Atari 2600. You pop in the game, you turn it on, and you're treated to a cutscene of Kool-Aid Man breaking through a brick wall just like he did in the commercials. Kool-Aid Man was released for the Atari 2600 in 1983 by Mattel, and originally the game was only exclusively available through mail order, but was then later released in stores. Although there were multiple versions, one for the Atari and another for the Intellivision. The Atari version is just simple arcade style, where you control the Kool-Aid Man. You fly around above a large pool of Kool-Aid, and flying back and forth across the screen are enemies that are known as Thirsties, who would typically pop up in Kool-Aid commercials. The objective is to avoid the Thirsties while they're moving, and to capture them when they're motionless. The Thirsties will stop and extend a straw down into the pool of Kool-Aid and begin drinking it, which is where they become vulnerable. If you run into them while they're moving, Kool-Aid Man will be flung backwards and bounced around all over the screen, leaving the Thirsties to drink the Kool-Aid unopposed. The game is over once the Thirsties have drank all the Kool-Aid, because once you defeat them all, the game will repeat itself, with the enemies becoming faster and faster each time. To aid the Kool-Aid Man in his quest to quench thirst, you do get power-ups in the game. Power-ups consist of letters that fly across the screen, which will grant you temporary invincibility. The letters that fly around are K, S, and W, which stand for the three main ingredients of Kool-Aid: Kool-Aid mix, sugar, and water. Was Kool-Aid Man a cheap cash grab, playing off the popularity of the drink and the mascot? Probably. Once you collected 125 Kool-Aid proof of purchase points, or 30 points plus $10, you mailed it into Kool-Aid and you got your game. And I can only imagine how cool that would have been back in the day, to be rewarded with a video game just for drinking Kool-Aid. Graphically and visually, is it that great? Not really, and the cartridge itself doesn't really look too inviting, as it's just an oddly shaped plain black cartridge, which Mattel was known for when they produced games for the 2600. It's not the greatest game on the 2600, but it's far from the worst. And if nothing else, it will bring you back to the simple days of the 80s, playing around in the hot sun when nothing was better than an ice-cold glass of Kool-Aid. So let me know in the comments, have you ever played Kool-Aid Man for the Atari 2600? Did you own it, or did you even know that it existed? And how crazy is it that there's a video game out there based off of Kool-Aid?